Let's break down QLoRA in 5 minutes. The paper from the University of Washington that made it possible to fine-tune a 65 billion parameter model on a single GPU without losing any quality at all. Here's a number that sounds made up. To fine-tune a 65 billion model the normal way, in 16-bit precision, you need more than 780 gigabytes of GPU memory. That's not one GPU, that's a whole rack, out of reach for basically everyone outside a big lab. QLoRA fits that same model onto a single 48 gigabyte card, the kind you can rent for a couple dollars an hour, at full quality. The chatbot they trained this way reached 99.3% of ChatGPT's score in 24 hours on one GPU. Where does all that memory even go? 3 places: the weights, the gradients, and the optimizer, which keeps 2 extra running copies of every weight. So you end up carrying the model about 6 times over. LoRA already helps. It freezes the whole model and trains only a pair of tiny adapter matrices on top. QLoRA adds the radical bit. Since the frozen base is never updated anyway, why store it at full precision? Quantize it down to 4 bits. That single move cuts 130 gigabytes to about 33, and you train the little 16-bit adapters on top. But 4-bit usually wrecks quality, so the first real trick is a data type called an F4. Neural network weights aren't spread out evenly. They're bell-curved, with almost everything clustered near 0 and very little in the tails. An evenly spaced 4-bit ruler wastes precision out where there's nothing. So an F4 puts its 16 levels where the weights actually are, dense near 0 and sparse in the tails. It's information theoretically optimal for normal weights. And because every block gets normalized to the same shape, you can compute those levels just once, up front. 2 more tricks finish the job. Double quantization quantizes the quantization constants themselves, clawing back a few more gigabytes. And paged optimizers move the optimizer state out to CPU memory during a spike, so a long sequence can't crash your run with an out-of-memory error. Put it together, and the 4-bit base sits quietly in memory, gets dequantized to 16-bit just for the instant of each matrix multiply, then thrown away, while only the tiny adapters ever receive a gradient. That's the whole memory saving in one sentence. Quick one. If you like AI papers explained by hand, hit subscribe. New one every week. Okay, but does it actually work? It does, completely. 4-bit QLoRA, it fully matches 16-bit fine-tuning across the benchmarks. Not close to it. Matches it, as long as you put LoRA adapters on every layer rather than just a couple. And there's a bigger lesson hiding in the results. For a fixed memory budget, a bigger model squeezed to 4 bits reliably beats a smaller model kept at 16. Quantization isn't just a tax you pay. It changes the best model you can fit. More parameters at lower precision is the winning trade. So that's QLoRA. Quantize the frozen base to 4-bit normal float, a data type shaped like the weights. Double quantize the constants. Page the optimizer so spikes don't crash you. And train tiny LoRA adapters on every layer. The result, 65 billion parameters, fine-tuned on one GPU, at full 16-bit quality. It's the reason anyone with a single consumer card can fine-tune big models today. That's my read. Tell me yours.